as the Minnesota Vikings do their thing in terms of, retooling this franchise, and it is a retool, it is not a rebuild. Retool, not rebuild, because they've got things in place, they've got players in place, playmakers on every level that really prove to the reason as to why this team is not rebuilding right now. It's retooling. I think they need a couple of players at certain positions, and boom, baby, they're back into it. But here's the thing. With those retoolings, there's a couple of players, like I said, right now, if a player, for instance, like Harrison Smith, really dove off the deep end, I wouldn't be opposed to playing some of the talent they have on the roster right now. Talented guys like Camryn Bynum, yes, please. Now, I need to start by saying, Harrison Smith is and will forever be one of my favorite Vikings of all time. Don't care. Ever since that man came out of Notre Dame, I just loved him. I mean, he was just Harry the Hitman. He exemplified the Vikings defense for so long. Like, even in the bad days when everything just seemed to go wrong, they just never threw towards Harrison Smith. Like, that was the one positive thing that we could really just be happy about. Like, what was it, 2020, when the Vikings had the worst defense in the NFL? At least we had Harrison Smith. Like, that was the comforting factor there. That was, for a fat guy like me, that was the comfort food that we had on the buffet, was always having Harrison Smith. But now, as we head into this portion of his career where he's kind of on the tail end, I don't think he's done by any means in the imagination. The point is this. He's not done. I think he's got 2, maybe 3 more good years of football left in him, being as one of the top graded safeties in the game. And I don't think that's a debate, because we've seen it even last year where we thought, could we see a little bit of a drop-off? And you could probably say it to a degree, yes. But again, Harrison Smith, I think he deserves to be at least in the conversation for being in the Hall of Fame at some point. Obviously, those all-pros votes and things like that didn't help him out, but overall, I think he needs to be on the field for all of this, unless he proves that he's truly aging out. And again, if that were to happen, I would be okay, because we got a guy like Camryn Bynum. Now, I think that the Vikings need to unleash Camryn Bynum here a little bit, to a degree. Now, don't start him over Harrison Smith, because it's Harrison Smith that I just said, went on a 2-minute tirade about how much I love me some Harrison Smith. But on the other hand, there's also something to be said of getting the best 11 football players on the field. Now, especially with the Vikings kind of looking to do with Ed Donatel and this new coaching staff, what they could bring in terms of different formations, a different 3-4 defense. There's going to be a lot of change. But I think overall, and maybe that could be good for Harrison Smith. Maybe he'll spend more time down in the box as opposed to, being more up top, which, I mean, I feel like he's one of the best box safeties, like at least in the conversation of all time. Just not a lot of players like him. And I feel like Harrison Smith could be that guy that, if he's in the box, maybe that's how you extend his career for a couple years or get him out of there. I don't know. But I'm all for just putting Harrison Smith where he thrives the most, and that's clearly in the box. He's just a stud overall. So, but again, I think the player that they really need to focus on getting on the football field is Camryn Bynum, the former 4th-round pick. To kind of give you an idea, he played in 14 games this last year when Harrison Smith went down. I think it was with COVID or ankle injury, something like that. I think it was mainly COVID. Played in 14 games, started 3, had 1 pick for 27 yards and 3 passes. Defense also had a big-time sack. That's what I'm talking about. Like, it wasn't Harrison Smith on the field, but it was like the same kind of impact. Like, there was not a huge talent drop-off, and you're like, wow, like Camryn Bynum can actually play. Like, this he's a really good football player. The former Golden Bear out of the University of California had a 78.3 PFF grade, and you love it because, again, anytime that you can get a player like Camryn Bynum on the football field, and there's not that much of a talent drop-off from a potential Hall of Famer, that says something. Back when I was back in my college days, our coach would always tell us, hey, if I can put one of you guys on in place of a starter and there's no talent drop-off, it makes it hard for us to take you guys off the football field. And that's exactly what it was like for Camryn Bynum, who kind of burst onto the scene for the Vikings. Like, again, Harrison Smith is an all-time great in my mind, especially for the Vikings. But, when Camryn Bynum came in and played like he did, you loved it. Like, it was like, okay, we've got another young star in the making, and I'm really excited to see what he's going to do. So I think moving forward, as the Vikings figure out what they're going to do with their new defensive schemes, with their new personnel, with all that, I think they would be foolish not to see what they can do to experiment with Camryn Bynum and just find a way to get this man on the football field, because he earned it. He absolutely earned it this last year. And again, whether that's that they put him in, in more of that nickel corner, more maybe him in the box, I don't care. The point is, the Vikings need to find a way to get Camryn Bynum on the field. They need to get him in the game, because he's a game wrecker, and you saw, if he's in the right scheme, there was a lot of good things that he can tend to do for the Vikings. Again, he's got that good size, 6 foot, 200 pounds. Probably. He's definitely not slow. I'm pretty sure he can keep up with just about any wide receiver in the NFL. But again, I don't necessarily feel the most comfortable putting him up against guys like Tyreek Hill or any of those boys. But pretty much everybody else, yeah, I don't mind it. Plus, having him guard a tight end, I don't have my reservations about that either, because I think he's got the size needed to do that as well. So I think it's the best of both worlds. The Vikings need to find a way to get Camryn Bynum on the football field. I don't care. Best 11, find a way to get it done, and let's go, and let's see what he can do moving forward. But let us know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. We greatly appreciate all the support that we've gotten and continue to get. You guys are all truthfully awesome. We love every single one of you. In the description down below, you'll find all of our social media platforms. You'll also find our link to our iTunes, so maybe make sure you guys give us a listen and sub on iTunes as well. And finally, if you have anything else you'd like us to cover, send us an email at thesportsbp@yahoo.com or put it in the comment section down below, and we would love to cover it. But let us know what you guys think about the Minnesota Vikings needing to unleash Camryn Bynum.